Yes?
Excuse me, sir. Colonel Dax?
Yes?
My name is Russo, sir. Captain of artillery.
What is it, Captain?
I have something to tell you, sir, that may have a great bearing on the court-martial.
Come in, Captain.
Well, Colonel, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Come and sit down.
Thank you, sir. I'm really sorry to intrude on you in this
Not
way.
at all. I'm always delighted to see you, Colonel Dax. Will you have a cigar?
No, thank you, sir. Well,
I think you'll find it delicious. Must apologize for not inviting you to join the party downstairs tonight, but I'm afraid that it's a dress affair.
Well, thank you, sir, but I must confess that this is not entirely a social visit.
Oh, come, Dax, let's not go over all that ground again. Though I must admit that, judging from the casualties, the efforts of your regiment must have been considerable.
How can you understand that and allow these men to be shot tomorrow?
Oh, come, Colonel, you're choosing to take a rather simple view of this thing.
The attack was impossible from the start. The General Staff must have known that.
Colonel Dax, we think we're doing a good job running the war. You must be aware of the fact that the General Staff is subject to all kinds of unfair pressures from newspapers and politicians. Maybe the attack against the anthill was impossible. Perhaps it was an error of judgment on our part. On the other hand, if your men had been a little more daring, they might have taken it. Who knows? In any case, why should we have to bear any more criticism of the failure than we have to? Aside from the inescapable fact that a good many of your men never left the trenches, there's the question of the troops' morale. Don't forget that.
The troops' morale, sir.
Certainly. These executions will be a perfect tonic for the entire division. There are few things more fundamentally encouraging and stimulating than seeing someone else die.
I never thought of that, sir.
Well, you see, Colonel, troops are like children. Just as a child wants his father to be firm, troops crave discipline.
I see.
And one way to maintain discipline is to shoot a man now and then.
May I ask, do you sincerely believe all the things you've just said?
It's been a pleasure discussing this with you, Colonel, but I'm afraid that I'd better be getting back to my guests.
Forgive me for having kept you from your party. Well, by the way, sir, have you heard that General Moreau ordered his own battery commander, Captain Rousseau, to open fire on his own positions during the attack? Well, of course, the captain refused without a written order. But General Moreau demanded that he commence firing on our own trenches. Again, Rousseau refused without an order in writing, but again he was ordered, and again he refused. All in front of witnesses.
Do you actually believe this fantastic story?
Here are copies of the sworn statements from all the principals involved. Battery Commander Rousseau, Captain Nichols, the artillery spotter, the telephone clerk, and my own deposition.
What has all this got to do with the charge against the condemned prisoners?
The general, in a tantrum over the failure of an impossible attack, orders his artillery to fire on his own men. Now, the same officer, on the same day, orders a court-martial in which 3 of his men are sentenced to be shot. General, what would your newspapers and your politicians do with that?
Colonel Dax, are you trying to blackmail me?
Sir, that's an ugly word, but you are in a difficult position. Too much has happened. Someone's got to be hurt. The only question is who. Well, General Moreau's assault on the anthill failed. His order to fire on his own troops was refused. But his attempt to murder 3 innocent men to protect his own reputation will be prevented by the General Staff.
Will you pardon me, Colonel Dax? I've been rude to my guests too long.